This Q&A is brought to you by Patreon. Head to patreon.com/cohesivehome to learn more about how you can support this community. Now on with the show. We're back with another Q&A, so let's get going.
All right, today's question is, how can I declutter when my partner doesn't see a need? Ooh. This is a good one. You know why? Because how many emails do we get?
A lot.
With some variation of this question.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah,
we do.
It's a serious, legitimate concern.
Mm-hmm. And this is, and this isn't or can be in any aspect of your life or in your partnership. It just so happens that we talk about this topic, and so that's why we get asked the question. So, what would you say, Kate? What's one of the first things?
I'm going to first preface this by saying we are not relationship counselors. We're just, that friend over coffee giving you advice, and we may not know what we're talking about, but we're going to try and help. So I would say before we even think about changing our partner's behavior, I think it's really important to focus on our own.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with our own stuff before we can ask that of our partner. So that means if you're really hoping that your partner will declutter their things, you got to start with your own. Breach.
It's true though, because sometimes it's not on your timetable. Things can happen, but like she said, you have to focus on yourself first, and then kind of live by example, right? That's going to be your first thing to do. Don't pester. Don't even ask. You can ask. And then if they say no, then just live by example.
Yes. Well, and I know I'm of the kind of personality type that if someone is bugging me about something, then I'm probably not going to do it. I kind of like to have that idea myself. Mm-hmm. And so, taking a step back and allowing your partner to come to that decision on their own might be a good way to approach it.
Yeah, because when someone's pushing or asking, kind of nagging even, kind of takes the value away from it. It kind of cheapens it in a way. And so, if you step back, do your own thing, like my husband, he had it didn't bother me though, because it was in the garage, but he had this box of t-shirts that were from high school and college that he never wore anymore. And they had sentimental value. A lot of them did. But after a while, he thought about it and he wouldn't touch them. And he'd think about it again and he wouldn't touch them. And he's like, okay, I know I need to go through those. But then he wouldn't touch them again. And so, but finally, in his own time, he went through the box. And a couple of them I actually wear as nightshirts now. But it was in his own time. And yes. I didn't have to say a thing. It was something that there's a lot more ownership and joy that comes from it if it's done on your own time.
Exactly. And here's the thing, we can't change people. We can't expect changes out of our partners. We have to love them for who they are, right, and for the way that they live their lives. That's why we're with them, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to create space for that change to come from within.
So now for the yay part of our podcast, Kate and we're going to share something that we're just really into right now. We hope that you enjoy this. It's going to be a constant, reoccurring thing in our podcast for Fridays. So Kate, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. So I have been really into a new podcast. It is called The Muse and the Catalyst. And you can find it on iTunes. We'll also stick it in the show notes. But it's two friends of ours. Their names are Erin and Megan. Some of you may know Megan from Instagram. Her Instagram is @Art Pantry. But the podcast is just, it's so encouraging. They talk about just ways to, go after your dreams, different ideas to help inspire you. And they talk about it all from the angle of being a couple and doing business together. So I would definitely add that to your list if you're looking for some fresh inspiration.
Awesome. Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that one because I really like it too. So for what I'm into, I am loving a friend of ours. He just came out. His name's Zach Winters, and he just came out with his new album, and it is so good. I think if you're just enjoy good music, you should definitely check it out. You can find him on Spotify, and then you can also buy the album in iTunes. But I will link to the Muse and the Catalyst and also to Zach Winters on our show notes.
Ooh, yeah, I definitely want to check out his album. Very, very excited to get my hands on a copy. Well, we hope that you enjoyed this very short little Q&A. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday with another full-length episode. See you then.